Hey there, my friend. Today I've got several bombshells for you. First, we'll talk about Ridvan Yilmaz being offered a Rangers exit to Galatasaray amid concerns over Besiktas's reaction. There's also news about Rangers potentially selling Cyril Dessers to sign Albion Romani before the transfer deadline. Additionally, in case you haven't seen it, James Tavernier has been told that the time is right to exit Rangers amid Ibrox's transfer speculation. We also have news on Hannibal Mabry with a verdict on a Celtic or Rangers transfer as Manchester United icon Andy Cole vouches for the move. And finally, a Rangers player is set to seal a permanent Ibrox exit amid an agent revelation. Before we start, just leave a like on the video to help the channel. Where else do you find all these news summaries, especially for you? Only here. So there's a bit of a saga brewing with our left-back Ridvan Yilmaz. Word from Turkey is that Galatasaray has come knocking, but Yilmaz isn't sure if he wants to pack his bags and head back. The lad's worried about the backlash from Besiktas fans. And who can blame him? Those Istanbul derbies are no joke. The Turkish outlet Fotomak reported on the 6th of August that Yilmaz is on the fence about the move. Galatasaray's management is trying to sweet-talk him back to the Super League, but he's got a bit of a dilemma on his hands. He's also been linked with a return to Besiktas, where he'd reunite with Giovanni van Bronckhorst, the man who originally brought him to Ibrox. Now Felipe Clement, our gaffer, has already let Borna Barisic head off to the Super League, joining John Lundstrom at Trabzonspor. Yilmaz started in our 0-0 draw against Hearts on the 3rd of August, so if he leaves, we'll need to reshuffle the squad a bit. Clements brought in Jefte, who could step up, but Jefte was more a replacement for Barisic. Clement made it clear earlier this window that everyone, except Jack Butland, is up for grabs if the right offer comes in. The first half at Tynecastle showed some concerns about Yilmaz's physicality. He's not the biggest lad out there. He did pick up his game after the break, showing some of that dynamic play down the left flank we know he's capable of when he's fit. But, as Derek Ferguson pointed out, his lack of physicality means he might need to move on. Yilmaz has struggled with injuries, making him a bit unreliable. It wouldn't be a shock to see the club cash in if the money's right, but it would mean yet another signing needed for the squad. Back in January, he was close to leaving, but no one met the asking price, so it remains to be seen if a sufficient bid will come in this time. It looks like Rangers are gearing up for a bit of a shakeup before the transfer deadline. According to Gary Morris from the Fourth Official, we might be saying goodbye to Cyril Dessers to make room for Albion Romani. The rumors about the Kosovan striker just won't go away, and they've been particularly strong over the past couple of days. Romanian journalist Sorin Chiriac mentioned on Instagram on the 29th of July that Rapid Bucharest are expecting a new bid for Romani. They're asking for €6 million, which is about £5.05 million plus a sell-on fee. Morris said, "It's my understanding that for that to happen, Rangers would be looking to try to move on a striker, probably Cyril Dessers, who didn't have his best game in Edinburgh at the weekend." Philippe Clement has his eyes set on the Rapid Bucharest striker, and it seems Romani and Lawrence Shankland are the two names most heavily linked with a move to Ibrox this summer. Shankland was back on the table after a change of heart from Clement, but the pursuit of Romani has been ongoing for weeks now. Football Scotland reported that Rangers were in pole position to sign Romani as far back as the 17th of June. There are some reservations over Shankland's ability to press from the front, so it wouldn't be surprising if Clement prefers someone like Romani who can do the job. Dessers scored 22 goals last season, and he could probably do the same again this year if he remains the first choice. But Clement is looking for someone who can bang in 35 to 40 goals from the same number of chances. Danilo's been dealing with injuries, making him harder to move for the right price. And with Sam Lammers now at FC Twente and Kemar Roof's contract expired, Dessers looks like the one to go. The Nigerian striker has had some interest over the summer, but nothing's materialized yet. If we're to land Romani, there'll need to be a significant change of pace to get Dessers out and turn the cash around for the 24-year-old Kosovan. There's been quite a bit of chatter about our captain, James Tavernier, and whether it's time for him to move on from Rangers. Mark Guidi reckons the time is right for him to find a new club before the transfer deadline. Apparently, Trabzonspor have been eyeing him up, keen to bring him over to Turkey. Despite Tav insisting that his focus remains firmly on Glasgow and the tasks ahead this season, Guidi thinks it's in everyone's best interest if he moves on in the coming weeks. Speaking on the Go Radio football show on the 5th of August, Guidi said like he needs a change, that I don't know if they thought to keep James Tavernier for the Champions League qualifiers and see if they get through, but I think it would benefit both Rangers and the player if he goes. I don't like criticizing James Tavernier because I think he's been a fantastic servant and he's got a lot to offer, but I think the time is right for him to move on. You look at that Rangers team. They're lacking leaders. They're lacking winners. That's the bottom line. Now, us Rangers supporters have been split over Tavernier for years. This summer, though, it feels like more fans are starting to accept that his best years might be behind him. His performance against Hearts in the season opener at Tynecastle wasn't dreadful, but it didn't do much to silence his critics either. Tav might not want to leave Glasgow, and there's an argument to be made that he could still play a part in a reduced role, with Dujon Sterling stepping up as the regular right-back. But here's the thing. Tavernier is one of our only real sellable assets. His departure could help Philippe Clement secure a couple of new signings before the window slams shut at the end of August. Not everyone will agree, but it does feel like both the Light Blues and their captain might need a fresh start before the month is up. Here's the latest buzz about Hannibal Mejbri and a potential move to either Celtic or Rangers this summer. The 21-year-old midfield starlet from Manchester United has been told to seriously consider a move to Glasgow if the opportunity arises. And who's giving this advice? None other than former Man United striker Andy Cole. Cole reckons an exit from Old Trafford might do the Tunisian lad some good, especially after his loan stint with Sevilla didn't quite go as planned. Both Celtic and Rangers are sniffing around, with Gers looking at a loan deal and their rivals thinking about a permanent move. According to Cole, it makes perfect sense for Mejbri to move on, as game time at Man United would be pretty limited. He's a kid that's had a taste of first-team football and naturally wants to play more and more, Cole told Betfred. At Sevilla, there was an option for a permanent move, so it looks like there's an open door for him to leave. If he has the opportunity to move to either Celtic or Rangers, then why not? It's that simple. He's going to find it difficult to get into the Manchester United team, so it'll be interesting to see if the club decides to move him on, either on loan or for a decent transfer fee. They could then use that money to do some business elsewhere. It would be an interesting one. Andy Cole is vouching for a move to Glasgow for Hannibal Mejbri. Whether he ends up at Celtic or Rangers, it's sure to be a fascinating development. Let's see if either of Glasgow's big two can land the young talent and give him the game time he's craving. Yilmaz Hagi is set to leave Rangers permanently before the transfer window slams shut. Our gaffer, Philippe Clement, spilled the beans ahead of the UEFA Champions League qualifier against Dynamo Kiev. Apparently, talks had been held with Hagi and his agent right at the start of the window, and it's all but confirmed now. Hagi's recent drop to the B team was a big hint, and Clement has now gone on record to confirm it, as reported by Joshua Berry. The 25-year-old will be joining a host of players who've left this summer, including the likes of Connor Goldson, Ryan Jack, John Lundstrom, and Borna Barisic. Now, with Hagi on his way out, we've got a bit of a gap to fill. We'll need a new right-winger to keep the team competitive. Hagi had potential, no doubt, but he struggled to consistently deliver on the pitch. His demotion to the B team was a clear sign that the coaching staff had lost confidence in his abilities. Bringing in a new right-winger would inject some fresh energy and creativity into the squad. We need someone who can provide a reliable outlet on the flank and contribute to our overall attacking play. This is especially crucial as we aim to compete both domestically and in European competitions. Hagi's departure highlights the need for squad depth and rotation, making it even more important to secure a solid replacement. A new signing would not only fill the void left by Hagi, but also bring a different set of skills and attributes, potentially enhancing our tactical flexibility and attacking options. So let's see who Clement and the team bring in to replace Hagi. Here's hoping for some exciting new talent to keep us on track for a successful season. Cheers to that.